Have you ever sat down to meditate, seeking peace, only to be overwhelmed by a flood of thoughts? Have you wondered, why is my mind so noisy when all I want is stillness? Doesn't tea meditation promise silence, clarity, and inner peace? So why, the moment we close our eyes, do we often find ourselves drowning in mental noise? Welcome back to our channel. It's a pleasure to have you here again. And if this is your first time, welcome to a space of reflection and truth. Today we're going to explore a phenomenon that confuses and frustrates many spiritual seekers: the sudden explosion of thoughts during meditation. But what if, instead of a sign of failure, this is the very sign that your practice is working? What if this mental noise is not an obstacle but the beginning of your awakening? Let us begin with a common experience. You find a quiet space. You close your eyes. You take a deep breath. For a few seconds, maybe even a few minutes, it's calm. Then it begins. Memories from childhood, arguments from last week, plans for tomorrow, fears that were buried. Suddenly, you're no longer meditating. You're thinking. And it feels like your mind is out of control. So you get frustrated. You think, I can't meditate. I'm just too distracted. But here's the truth. You're not failing at meditation. You're finally seeing your mind for what it really is. This is the first great revelation of true spiritual practice. The moment you stop distracting yourself with outer noise, you begin to hear the noise you've been carrying inside all along. Most people live in constant distraction, scrolling, consuming, talking, working, never giving the mind a moment of silence. So the thoughts stay hidden, buried beneath the surface. But the moment you sit still, the mind reveals its chaos. And that is not a mistake. That is a gift. Because awareness is the first step toward transformation. You cannot purify what you cannot see. You cannot heal what you cannot feel. So when thoughts come in meditation, don't fight them. Don't judge them. Don't suppress them. Observe them. Witness them. And most importantly, learn from them. Because those thoughts are not random. They are the echoes of your past, the residue of your habits, the footprints of your conditioning. Each thought is a messenger. Some bring grief. Some bring longing. Some bring truth you've been avoiding. And if you're courageous enough to sit with them, to listen, to not run, those thoughts will begin to dissolve. They lose power when they are seen. They lose weight when they are acknowledged. And slowly the mind begins to settle, not because you forced it, but because you understood it. Think of your thoughts like mud in a glass of water. First, everything is cloudy. But if you stop stirring, if you simply let it be, the mud sinks and the water clears. Meditation is not about forcing the water to clear. It's about not stirring. It's about becoming still enough for clarity to emerge on its own. And that takes time, takes patience, takes trust. There's a Zen story of a student who told his master, "My meditation is full of noise. My mind won't stop." The master smiled and said, "Good. Now you're finally meeting yourself." This story reveals something profound. The thoughts you meet in meditation are not new. They've been running your life from the shadows. But now you see them. Now you have a choice. Do I follow this thought? Do I believe this fear? Do I react to this memory? Or do I watch it come and go like a cloud in the sky? This watching, this witnessing is the heart of the path. And the more you practice, the more you realize you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And in that awareness there is peace. Not because the thoughts stop, but because they no longer own you. You've become the sky, not the storm. You've become the ocean, not the wave. This shift changes everything. You no longer fear your mind. You no longer fight your emotions. You no longer need perfect silence to feel calm. Because calmness is no longer the absence of thought. It's the presence of awareness. This is why spiritual masters sit in meditation for hours, not to escape thought, but to observe it until it reveals its illusions. And you can do the same. Start where you are. When thoughts arise, don't label them good or bad. Just notice. There's fear. There's judgment. There's a memory. And let it pass. like a train passing through a station. You don't need to get on. Just stand on the platform, breathe, watch, return to presence. Every time you do this, even for one breath, you are rewiring your mind. You are creating new grooves of peace, clarity, and stillness. And over time, those grooves deepen. The thoughts still come, but they come and go like wind across a field. They no longer uproot you. They no longer define you. You become rooted in the now. And in that now, you begin to taste freedom, not because you've escaped life, but because you've learned to meet it fully, with open eyes and an open heart. So if you're struggling with mental noise in meditation, take heart. You're not broken. You're waking up. And this is what awakening looks like at first: messy, noisy, chaotic. Because the unconscious must come to the surface before it can be released. And that release is the beginning of peace. So sit, breathe, watch, trust the process. And remember, every time you return to your breath, every time you choose awareness over reaction, you are planting seeds of awakening. One day you'll look back and realize, the thoughts didn't disappear, but you stopped believing them. And that was the moment everything changed. Thank you for watching this video. If this message helped you see your inner world with more clarity, share your experience in the comments below. Subscribe for more guidance on the journey within, and like this video to support this growing community of truth seekers. May your path be full of insight, and may your meditation lead you not away from life, but deeper into its sacred mystery.